Welcome to this crisis meeting that I will be presiding over since I am the president. Thank you all for being here, my loyal lieutenants, and of course, my dear Brigitte. Crisis meeting because, let's be honest, it's going to be really hard to do even worse than before. So, a little recap of the previous episodes is in order. That will give the latecomer time to arrive. I see that Gabriel and Gerard are missing. No, I'm here. Where are they for me? I have to say we've been exceptional by bringing together only champions in the Beirut government. 9 months of pure happiness, 9 months to see nothing born except a big mess. So again, thank you for that. I can never thank you enough, my little Francois. It's normal! And then obviously everyone was waiting to see what I do next. Who could make things even worse? That seems impossible. That's where my idea came from. To be strategic, with twists like in Game of Thrones, which Brigitte and I love. But yes, it's you, Serge, looking for the analyst, so I chose Sebastian, the Cornu guy. Well, we chose him because Brigitte loves him. Sure, he's a loyal Macron supporter, but without any scandals. And that's pretty rare. Plus, there are quite a few French people who don't even know who he is. I gave him horns because with his ordinary face, even I don't recognize him in the hallways. France is starting to think maybe things will go well. So I tell him, go ahead, I'm really playing up the change card. Yeah. And then what did he promise them? He said, I'll quickly form a government. And it will be a government of change. And the other thing, and no use of Article 49.3 during my whole term. Well, he didn't keep that promise since he didn't have time to do otherwise, so disappointment. But as for speed, that's another story. Which allowed us to take it easy all through September for our little social outings. Right, Brigitte? No, you'll show the photos later, Brigitte. And then, it's time to announce the ministers. Surprise! The same old grumblers as before. Amélie de Montsalin. Manuel Valls, they laughed hysterically at the TV. Gerard Darmanin, Agnes Pania whatever, the cherry on top. What position did they give you again? Go on, say it. Minister of Ecological Transition. Wait. I know everyone knows, but say it again. I love it. And your family? Thanks to daddy. She's rich because she has shares in what? Oil? Her dad was the director of the second biggest French oil extraction company, and Agnes is in energy. But she's useless. She doesn't know anything at all. She might be the worst of us in her position, really. No, sorry, Elizabeth. Elizabeth born at the Ministry of Education. She doesn't care at all, you know. What do you know about education, Elizabeth? Do you even remember being in school, Elizabeth? No. You don't learn how to be a child. You don't like that, right? No, I don't like kids. But I do like the teachers, though. That was wild. But it wasn't enough for us. That's where we're good. We're going to look for the big absentee from the government, Beirut. My champion, my Bruno Le Maire, and we put him anywhere. Minister of the Armed Forces. Well, we have a Ministry of the Army? That's news to me. You don't go to the same hairdresser as Elizabeth. No, magnificent. Just as bad as Beirut. It was beautiful. But there you go. Mr. Sebastian Le Cornu, what did he do an hour ago? He resigned. After 14 hours, yes, sir. So, on one hand, that's good. That makes a nice, unprecedented mess on our record. Okay. But that wasn't true. Huh? What do we do now? What should we do? What if we used car batteries to store electricity? For when there's not enough in winter to heat ourselves? No, you had a good laugh. But shut up, Agnes, for good, please. Okay? So you know full well that, I'm the one who decides. And obviously I have plenty of solutions. So what I'm going to do is list them for you. And you're going to decide by voting for the one you find the least bad. Well, the first is to directly choose a new prime minister from Macron's party. Of course, I have my preferences. For a real joke, I was thinking of Darmanin. Too small for the role. Yael Braun-Pivet, considering how she can't manage the assembly, I think that could be a real success. Sure, but I'd prefer to remain president of the National Assembly. No, I won't give up my position. No, both at the same time, it's possible. I don't know if we can. But anyway, if we really want to go for the worst, I was thinking of my Bruno. That would be epic. Well, that's settled. I know as much about it as I did in my previous positions. Anyway, there aren't many other choices. As the years pass, fewer of you are at the table. That's why I have my number 2. Picking someone who's already been prime minister is funny to me. Not Gabriel, though. He just wants to replace the caliph. By the way, Bruno, it'd be great if you could handle that. Gabriel Attal, he's the man without a plan because he's the man without conviction. That's not bad, right, Brigitte? But I feel like I've already heard that before. Hey, you're not on a TV show right now, are you? No, my books just cover sex. Anyway, with Gabriel, it's not an issue since we lack his parents' permission. And I thought, why not just go straight to Sebastian? No, I don't want to go. Or even better, Beirut to the return. I want to say... Even bigger, dirtier, and more senile. But you're a real gem, huh? The older you get, the more disgusting you are. Thank you. Me too, it's disgusting there. Oh, no, Aurore, that's too much, huh? Yes, you mess with the French, but you mess with me too, so no. No. And then, you know what we said? You know why you're here? Because there's no one else. That's it. So as soon as we find other allies, you're out. To change things. And what else did we say, Aurora? You don't take Gabriel's place. For you, it's under the table or nothing. So as I was saying, Francois, with Bruno, I consider you both my two champions, okay? A bit like my two balls, actually. Yeah, that's it. And I'll always keep you nice and warm in my presidential underwear. Yes, obviously, and you're my beautiful dick, my Brigitte. That's actually where solution number 3 comes in. Brigitte, Prime Minister. And then I'd really be powerful. No, but don't worry, you'd still be making the decisions as Prime Minister. Yes, but a Prime Minister who really decides. That's new. Solution number 4, a Prime Minister who's not a Macron supporter. That wouldn't be great, I admit. But hey, maybe we could still play the surprise card. Well, yeah, I could find one who'd agree to let me make most of the choices. I'd put all my top people in there. He puts a few of his own useless people in there, and boom, it turns into a big fiasco. And yeah, I've bought myself at least 3 more months with this one. 5th solution, dissolution. Well, I'm not really keen on that one. Because let me remind you, my goal is to finish my term, and to have as many great memories as possible, all while plunging the country into a memorable downward spiral. Only our membership in Europe will keep us from falling into third world status. Listen, as soon as they announce me in the government, the Paris Stock Exchange drops 2%. It's true, that's impressive. Not many can claim that. I think I'm a safe bet. Yes, but don't fall too fast, my Bruno. And it's even less likely to go back up if one day I become president of Europe. But I'm telling all of you right now, let's go and break through the 200% threshold. Let's aim for 2 trillion in debt. That's no small thing, huh? That's not the savings of a self-employed person. And of course, it comes with the consequences that go along with it. Famines, epidemics in the Middle Ages. We'll find a way. We have to do what it takes. Well said, my Bruno. So, when we talk about dissolution, it probably means even fewer Renaissance MPs than before. That's a fact. But well, if we end up, and there's a good chance, with a little left-right mix who can't stand each other, huh? All it takes is about 10 Renaissance MPs in the middle to tip the balance. Honestly, I think putting myself in the middle was my best idea. Yeah, they can't do anything on either side without us. That's it. And in my opinion, I could even manage to get them to accept a little prime minister like Bruno. Then, solution number 6, replace the government with my other group of friends. Now you can show the photo, Brigitte. Yes, this is the moment. Can we project it instead of Gabriel? That's perfect. I'll also take this opportunity to change the names of the ministries. With a ministry of orgies, a ministry of my balls, you know. Presided over for once by 2 co-ministers. My Francois and my Bruno. And Brigitte, I was getting to that minister of transition. Yeah, but I'm the minister of ecological transition. Unprofitable wind turbines and batteries made in China. No, Brigitte, you'll just be Minister of Transition. And you stop interrupting, remove her and bring in her funny clone we laughed about last time. Then of course I can, through Article 16 of the Constitution, grant myself full powers. So I can only do it in the event of a serious crisis threatening the Republic, but honestly I'm starting to feel threatened. The Republic, that's me. Hello. And Mélenchon is still banging on the door. Get him out too, come on, please. So, it's a little variation, but I was also thinking, why not maybe proclaim myself king? We're at a point in time right now where we should let the sovereign people govern. Yes, that would be normal as a sovereign. Well then, why shouldn't I be sovereign, and why won't they just let me govern peacefully? I can't take it anymore, you know? Why not become king with my little queen? I'm looking for the analyst's office, and when you're like that, I just want to hide and find myself. We kill 2 birds with 1 stone, solve the election problems, and make me look even cooler. Maybe I could just stay president of the National Assembly for life. That way I wouldn't need to blackmail anyone to keep my perks or position. Yeah, but I'm not sure the assembly will be very useful if I'm king and make all the decisions. Yeah, actually, it won't be very useful. Alright, that's good. Solution number 9. Declare war on Russia. That's if I can't take full powers before that. Yeah, so, I'll do like with COVID, I declare war and then, well, I end up like your pretty boy president until things get better. hoping that things never get better. Well, after that, I have a few backup solutions, but that's only if things go badly, so that's not for right now. Yes, because that's important. Before voting, don't use your best moves immediately. Save some strategies, pace yourself, and remember there's still a season and a half left. So you rate all of this out of 10 to see which one is the best to do today. Then Bruno will do the counting for us, but I've always been terrible at math.
I know I should know, but how much time would you need to do that? Well, I don't know, let's say 2 days. You know, just enough time to ask a consulting firm how a calculator works. A real champion, a true champion. Okay, Sebastian, bring out my prime ministers. No, really, I don't want to go. Brigitte, say something.
No, but just for 48 hours, just enough time for my idiot Bruno to do his calculations. You see, it's the stress. He's stressed out. But did you notice? It doesn't bother Francois at all that Bruno is stressed. No, he's fine. That's weird. So, that saying about my balls is true. It touches one without making the other boil. A bit like French beer in my eyes. The metaphor is excellent. Alright, meeting's over, we'll stop here, that's perfect. I'm happy now. This is a good sign, it only means good things ahead. Boss, Mélenchon, outside. He talked to me about a solution you forgot. Removal from office and prison for all of us. He's talking nonsense, that's not true. Agnes, I said outside. No, that's not possible. She's ruining my good mood now. No, I'm already cold now. As usual, thanks to everyone who watched until the end, who likes, who shares, and of course to those who tip. See you very soon.